Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned. Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings. Today we have a trending news here for you. And the headline of the news reads, Amotekun personnel gets immunity, cannot be sued yet if assaulted, attracts. See details. But before we go to details of the news and further analysis, for those of you who have been viewing our videos but yet you have not subscribed, please kindly hit on the red subscribe button, and if you've not also click on the bell notification bell, do same, just hit on it, and anytime we publish videos you will be the first to get the alert. All right, let's look at the details of the news. And the news have it that assaulting an Amotekun officer will attract a fine of 250,000 naira or a prison term of 1 month or both. However, an Amotekun officer cannot be sued for whatever he does in the course of duty, but only what he does in his personal capacity. This is according to the Ekiti State Security Network Agency Bill 2020, which has been submitted to the Ekiti State House of Assembly. Other southwestern states governors have submitted similar bills to their respective houses of assembly. Section 36 of the bill states, any person who willfully hinder, delays, obstruct, or assault a member of the Ekiti State Amotekun Corps in the course of the exercise of his lawful duties under this law shall be guilty of an offense and liable on conviction to imprisonment for a term of 1 month or to a fine not exceeding 250,000 naira only, or to both such fines and imprisonment. The bill further stated that the security agent organization must be headed by a retired law enforcement agent who is not lower than the rank of a major or its equivalent in any other security agency. Section 14 read in part, they shall be appointed by the governor a commander for the agency who shall be a retired law enforcement officer or military officer not below the rank of a major or its equivalent in other security services. The corps commander shall be a person with at least 10 years cognitive experience in security matters. B. Be responsible for day-to-day running of the affairs of the Ekiti State Amotekun Corps and implementation of the decision of the board. C. Hold meetings with his counterpart in other states, particularly Ogun, Lagos, Ondo, Osun, and Oyo State on a quarterly basis, or as may be collectively determined by the corps commanders in those dates. The bill also provided for the establishment of an Amotekun board, which is expected to meet not less than 4 times a year. The bill will comprise the Commissioner of Police in the state and representative of other military representatives. Section 6 read in part, and I quote, there is established for the agency a governing board referred to in this state law as the board. The board shall comprise a chairman who shall be a person of proven integrity with experience in security matters and shall be a retired law enforcement or military officer not below the rank of a major or its equivalent in the other security services. The Commissioner of Police in the state or his or her representative, one member representing the different services of the armed forces of Nigeria operating in the state commandant of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps in the state, or his or her representative, the Executive Secretary, Ekiti State Security Trust Fund, or his or her representative, one representative each of the Community Development Association drawn from the 3 senatorial zones of the state, the chairman, Ekiti State Council of Traditional Rulers, or his representative, Ekiti State Amotekun Corps commander. Meanwhile, the Ekiti State Attorney General and the Commissioner for Justice, Wale Fapo Honda, on Tuesday called for comment from members of the public on the bill for enabling law for the establishment of Amotekun Corps. Fapo Honda said the State Ministry of Justice posted the bill on its website on Monday to enable Ekiti residents and other stakeholders to view it and make comments. The Attorney General said deadline for the submission of the comment is Wednesday at midnight. The bill, which the AG presented to the state governor, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, on Monday, will be discussed at the state executive meeting. The ministry stated that Amotekun Corp will also ensure that all persons traveling along the highways, major roads, remote area are free to participate in their normal social and economic activities without hindrance, and as well assist the police to carry out any other lawful activities for maintaining law and order in the state. However, the Osun State House of Assembly says it has not officially received the bill of Amotekun. The Speaker, Timothy Owoye, said this on Tuesday. The bill has already been passed into law in Ekiti State. All right, that is the news, and it has attracted generated a lot of, comments from Nigerians. This one said, "Thank God, I pray that it yield good result." Another one said, "Assault. What if they were attacked by haters?" If those haters are caught, let me answer. If those haters are caught, that attack the Amotekun Corps, automatically they will pay the sum of 250,000 naira or spend 1 month in the prison. All right, and this one says here, assault. Okay, this one says, "When I won't give these people status of a demigod, then go soon turn to SARS. Same way SARS officers beat and kill innocent citizens while on duty." All right, we're going to consider that statement, that comment made by a Nigerian. This one says, "This can never pass through. Our Amotekun recruited officers already undergo psychiatric tests." That also must be looked into. This one says, "So if a Fulani headman decided to legally kill 3 Amotekun officers in a station hillocks, he will first sell 5 of his cows and gather the cash for the fine, and then carve out 1 month in his life to flex prison. I'm sure he will pull strings and be out in good too. Chai, it's too poor now. Only 250,000 a month. Chai, we all know headsmen do not molest, they kill. Even if you miraculously survive with cuts and all, you wish you were dead. Even a rich headsman can sponsor them 1 million to wipe out the Amotekun cats from a particular village. I really pity the Amotekun cats. However, whoever decides to join this talk to collect 18k salary and put a 250,000 or 1 million or 1 month jail price on his life is a cruel manner, is a fool." So many reactions by Nigeria, but we are going to be looking at some of this provision in the Amotekun law, especially in Ekiti State. And I want to say here that as much as they have been empowered to function as, as security corps, to carry out the duty of protecting the people and also their property, it's of importance for these people to be well trained. Yes, the criteria for being part of a Amotekun has already been listed, and you must have some level of security training, and you must also be medically fit. But all the same, we must be very careful in how we empower these people, because one of the fears that Nigerians have is that let them not turn out to be like the Bakassi boys. You can remember when Bakassi boys were in, I think, Aba, in the southeast, precisely, when they were empowered to function as, vigilante. After a while, they ended up being a serious threat to the peace of, South Easterners that time. After a while, it took the police some reasonable months to be able to curb them and force them to, arrest them. Some of them were arrested because after a while they were involved in all manner of inimical acts. Some of them were involved in robbery. Some of them were now going after their enemies. They made it. They brought in their private life into the public service. So you be seeing them harassing people that for one reason or the other they had issues with. So we have to create a balance here. It's not good enough to give them all the power. Let them understand that if they goof, in the process of carrying out their responsibility, bringing in their private life into their public service automatically, there should be a provision in the law for them to be dealt with. Already the law has been passed. The bill has been passed into law, but we are hopeful that they will be fully regulated. Whoever that will be at the helms of affairs to regulate these guys will do that with all amount of seriousness. All right, my colleague is here. What do you have to say about this empowerment given to them? Whatever they do is good enough, and you must not assault them. What do you have to say about it?
To me, it's a good one. If you read properly, you find out that they said, if you have gone through it properly, you find out they said, if in the course of discharging their duty, which means on the point of, as soon as they're discharging their duty, they are immune. They carry the immunity clause and they represent the state. The power is upon them. But outside their, official duty, they can be sued. Which means if they, by the virtue of them being Amotekun officials, as in personnel, and they decide to rob in the night, now that's a personal duty. That means they can be sued. They can also be killed. So whatever they do, they shouldn't allow absolute power to corrupt them absolutely. But giving them that power makes them powerful. They now know the weight of what they are carrying. They now know that they are people, the power that has been put upon them. A lot of people believe in the capacity of them, delivering. The situation now in Nigeria is very dire. So it requires, you to think out of the box. You can't, tell our Amotekun officers to go in there with all manner of terrorists coming up, and you expect them to just walk in with just them. So they need, power from the people, and also, to show that their lives are also protected. So it's a good one if you ask me.
All right, but someone, and that's precisely Premier Ayodele had said that it was like a prophecy that Amotekun will soon turn out to be a very terrorist group very soon. So looking at some of the things that we've heard and crafted into their law, what do you think? Do you think the possibility is there, reasoning it objectively?
Yes, the possibility is very good. That's why I said absolute power corrupts absolutely. I said, if you remember what I said, they shouldn't allow, the power bestowed upon them to get into their heads. It's very possible. In fact, one of my greatest fear right now, care will be taken. They always want to prove to the world that they're on top of their job. At some point, police, when they started, the MPF, when they started, they were always on top of their job. Let's be truthful to ourselves. At the beginning of the force, every security outfit, whenever they start, they always put in their best. But subsequently, by 2023, the election will be around the corner. How am I so sure that some of the personnels won't be used as political thugs against, some other regions or some other opposing parties, depending on who that personnel is loyal to? Don't forget that recruitment may be coming from the state. So if your Oga at the top is the one that recruited you into Amotekun, and now he's vying for a position, or his boy is vying for a position, you will be loyal to him. And if he calls you, say, guy, I need your boys to be at the campaign ground, or I need your boy to do one or two shaking for me, he will want to go, because the job he got, the meal ticket he's enjoying now, it all came from his Oga at the top. So he may likely come and even encourage and convince his fellow colleagues, look, join me, my Oga at the top is a loyal guy, the guy they drop, more just go help him. I just want to show awareness, being that they have the power now. So bit by bit, they may likely be moving towards that prophecy that was about everything all depends on man.
Okay, but another thing I want to discuss is that it has not been explicitly named on this thing on the bill, their salary, but a lot of people believe that the salary will be around 18,000 naira.
No, I think it should be more.
If it is low, don't you think that these guys in the nearest future may turn out to be a robbery gang, considering, especially if Fulani headsmen have already, or terrorist attack, insurgency has been taken care of? Don't you think that they may metamorphose into, a robbery gang and all of that? looking at how things are happening now.
When this whole issue of salary came into bear, the Hunters Association, that's the local Hunters Association, said something very unique. They said anything less than 50,000 is an insult. Anything less than 50,000 naira is commonizing Amotekun. Anything less than 50,000 naira, judging the fact that their lives are at risk, judging the fact that they will leave some of the things that they are used to doing to face full-scale Amotekun. That anything less than that is making Amotekun a joke. So they are looking at the fact that even if they must, it shouldn't be anything less than 50,000. Which, to me, if minimum wage in Nigeria is 30,000 naira, then 50,000 is about a good deal to start with.
Okay, thank you very much. And one of the things that I want to also say, it's about uniformity. There needs to be uniformity in the bill, because if, for example, uniformity in the bill and also the pay should be uniform, because if, for example, me in Lagos are paying me 50,000 naira and the people of Osun State that are paying them 25, the people of Ekiti that are paying them 18,000, before you know, there will be rift here and there. So the governor should try to see how they can prevent all of that. We wish them all the best, and we hope that they will carry out their core responsibility as expected of them. That's where we're going to draw the curtain, go to our session. What do you, comment section, tell us what's your position on this particular issue now that they have been empowered? What do you think?